Hey guys. Welcome back. This is the story about what if Naruto was Gilgamesh's brother. Before we start, you know the drill, like, share and sub, this really supports the channel guys. Let's begin. It was early morning when Naruto returned to Camp Half-Blood and saw Percy, Annabeth and Grover getting ready to leave camp to go somewhere. Naruto decided to ask them. Why are you in such a rush this morning? Going somewhere? Naruto asked the group, making them turn around to see Naruto standing next to them, scaring them. What are you doing here, Naruto? Percy stuttered, afraid of Naruto, making Naruto frown, but quickly schooled his face. I was just arriving back at camp to observe the rest, you mongrels, and saw you packing your things and getting ready to leave. What, did you get bored of this place already? Naruto asked the group, making them blush in embarrassment. Percy was given a quest where he must retrieve Zeus's Master Bolt before the end of the summer solstice, or else there will be a war between Zeus and Poseidon that would lead to the other gods taking sides. Chiron believes that Hades has it, Annabeth said to Naruto, making him smirk at the group, making them feel nervous. Oh, this seems interesting. So the king of babies has lost his favorite toy and thinks that his brother was responsible for it. Why am I not surprised? I was just going to stay in camp to see how these demigods train, but now I'm interested in your quest, so I'll be coming along. I do hope you entertain me, Naruto told the group, making them gulp from nervousness. The group and Naruto then went on their way with the Greek demigods talking to each other and planning how to get to the underworld on the bus. However, it suddenly stops, making everyone get off so that the driver could fix the problem. During this time, the group looked around and found three old ladies knitting, giving the three Greek demigods a bad feeling, and that feeling increased when they watched them cut some red string with a pair of scissors. Naruto, seeing this, walked over to the old ladies and gave them a smirk and pick up the string they cut and tie the strings back together. However, the string changed from red to gold, shocking the old ladies as they watched Naruto walk away from them. These dangerous sisters. He can see the strings of fate we weave and can change them, one of the sisters said to the others. Then we must be careful to manipulate things further, one of the other sisters said, making them nod their heads. The group of demigods watched Naruto return, shocked and horrified at what he did. They then watched him summon a large golden platform with a throne on it. Naruto then sat down on the throne and beckoned them to get onto the platform. When everyone was on the platform, it started to float into the air, and then when a good distance above the ground, it started flying, shocking everyone. What is this flying device? Annabeth asked Naruto, who raised his eyebrows in interest. Oh, a daughter of Athena in search for knowledge. This flying device is called a vimana and was used by the Indian gods to travel. Naruto told the girl, shocking her, and look at the platform. If it belonged to the Indian gods, why do you have one? Annabeth asked again, making Naruto smirk at her. Have you heard of the tale of Gilgamesh? Naruto asked the girl, making her nod at her head. Then you should know that when it was said that Gilgamesh collect every treasure on the earth, it wasn't for nothing, and since I'm younger brother, I have the same power and access to his vault where he kept them. Naruto told her, interesting her even more. So that is the power of being a demigod of Ninsen. Every treasure in the world and to be able to use them as weapons. Annabeth said to him. However, Naruto shook his head. You're half right, it does give me that ability, however it also gives you a terrible curse. You are forced to see a person for who they really are. Every time I see someone, I see their past, present and future, meaning I already knew you before you even introduced yourself, Naruto told the girl. However, Percy and Grover were also listening. How is that a curse? Percy asked, making Naruto to sigh. Think about it, boy. I know your past and everything and everyone you met. If I want to, I can find you anywhere in the present, and I know all of the troubles you will face as well as how and where you die. You tell me if that doesn't sound like a curse. Naruto told Percy, making the boy think and gulp. Naruto then used a vimana to fly across the sky to the location the demigods were told to go to Auntie M's Gnome Emporium to get clues to where the underworld was, and after a few minutes they arrived at the location and got off the vimana. The group then entered the shop and found a woman behind the stand, giving them a welcoming smile, and asked what they were doing in her store. Percy blabbed the first thing that came to mind, and thus got them into a situation where the shopkeeper was feeding them. During their time eating, the woman started asking the group where they came from and stuff about their parents. Percy, being Percy, couldn't lie to save his life, making Naruto annoyed, but kept his composure and continued to listen while not eating anything. After eating, the woman wanted to take everyone's picture, but the Greek demigods were uncomfortable and tried to leave. However, before anyone could leave, the woman dropped her disguise, revealing the woman to be Medusa. The group of young demigods panicked and spilt up, but Naruto was still looking at Medusa, shocking her that he wasn't turned to stone. How are you no turned to stone? Medusa asked, making Naruto raise his eyebrow at the woman, who still looked at him confused. I'm protected from divine curses, not even curses from Angramine will have an effect on me. Now onto you, Medusa, I'm willing to perform a trade with you, Naruto told her, shocking her. However, she quickly got over it and was intrigued by this trade. Oh, and what is it that you want to trade with me, demigod? Medusa asked Naruto, making him smile. If you let everyone leave this place alive and give those demigods the information that you have on the location to the underworld, then I will free you from your curse, Naruto told the woman, shocking her. However, she soon got mad. You lowly demigod has the power to undo a divine curse, and who is your parent? I have never seen a demigod with your features. Medusa asked Naruto, who didn't seem angry. My mother is the goddess Ninsun of the Sumerian pantheon, and the only other demigod born from her was Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, so you would never have seen a demigod like him, and in order to prove that I'm telling the truth, I will perform a 𝐸𝐸 with you. Naruto told Medusa, shocking her as she nodded her head. Very well, you have a deal, Medusa said as Naruto quickly wrote on a piece of paper all of the required information to make a binding 𝐸𝐸, to which Medusa signed. Naruto then gave her a potion to drink, to which she did. Boy, you mongrels can come out now, Naruto yelled, making Percy, Annabeth and Grover come out from their hiding places and look at Naruto, and then looked at Medusa, shocking both the demigods and Medusa, who smiled. What is going on? And how come neither us or you are stoned at the moment? Annabeth asked, making Naruto smirk. I don't like dancing around an issue, so I just offered Medusa a trade. We are allowed to leave alive with some information about where the underworld is, and in return, I will give her the cure to her problem, Naruto told the demigods, shocking them. However, Annabeth looked mad. Why would you cure some shameless priestess? Annabeth asked, making both Medusa and Naruto mad. Oh, so you believe all the tales that involve Athena? Naruto asked, making Annabeth nod her head, making Naruto sigh. The truth is, Medusa was a goddess, the same with her sisters Uriel and Stheno. However, Medusa was different than her sisters, as she continued to age and grow. After some time, Medusa was cursed by Athena for being more beautiful than her. The curse started slow, with her appearance changing, and then her mentality, and in a moment of weakness killed her own sisters, resulting in two different personalities, Medusa the goddess and Gorgon the monster, Naruto told the girl, making Medusa look ashamed and sad. The group was preparing to leave after being told that she didn't know where the underworld was. However, she believed that they could get answers at the Lotus Casino in Las Vegas. However, he left. Naruto stayed behind, or a bit. It gave Medusa a piece of paper. The group then went on there, with Naruto paying for the group's train ticket to the Gateway Arch, making him sigh and shake his head and get on the train. During the travel, Percy split up from the group. When everyone arrived at the train station, no one could find Percy until he showed up and told the group that he was attacked by Echidna and fell off the train and into a river, where a Nereid told him to visit the sea before the underworld. The group then continued on their way to Las Vegas. However, the Greek demigods got hungry and decided to get something to eat at a dinner. As the group were eating, they heard on the news that Percy's stepfather was looking for him. As they were discussing what to do, they turned to see a man in a black biker jacket and sunglasses enter the dinner. The man then sat next to the demigods, surprising Percy. However, the other demigods and Satyr knew who he was. Naruto appeared calm. However, on the inside, Naruto wanted to vomit as he saw Ares' past, and it made him sick to his stomach. This is why I hate gods. They truly are cruel monsters that will target everybody, including other gods. Naruto thought to himself and decided to keep quiet and listen to Ares ask the kid something, and used Hades' cap of invisibility to make himself disappear. I want you to go to the local water park and get me my shield back, and in return, I'll give you transportation to the west, and I'll give you information about your mother, Ares told the kids, making Naruto roll his eyes at the offer. Well, get your shield back, Percy told the god, making all of the demigods leave after finishing their meals, which Naruto had to pay for. The group quickly arrived at the local water park. Then the Greek demigod started looking around the water park for his shield. However, they quickly found out that it was a trap set for Ares and Aphrodite by Hephaestus. The group quickly found the shield and walked back to the entrance to find Naruto waiting for them. Hey man, why didn't you help us find Ares' shield? Percy asked, making Naruto sigh and look at the boy in annoyance. It goes against everything that I stand for, to help gods and their pointless tasks that they set for their heroes and the mortals under their care, Naruto told the boy, making him frown. Is it because of something your parents did? Percy asked Naruto another question, making him give a tired sigh. No, it wasn't my mother. She has been with me through every step of my life, Percy. Naruto told the boy, making him more curious. Then why are you mad at all the gods? Percy continued his barrage of questions, making Naruto look at Annabeth and Grover for help. However, Annabeth looked as interested as Percy and Grover just looked away from them. I don't hate all the gods. I'm actually great friends with the Shinto Trinity and the Hindu Trinity, as they understand the importance of humanity to the world and treat them more than cattle. For example, Amaterasu views all the people of Japan as her children, and the reason why I hate most gods are because of their views on humanity's worth. They believe that humanity is just above ants. Naruto told them, confusing them. However, Annabeth had another question. You said your mother was with you throughout your life, but isn't that breaking the law set by the gods? And what about your father? Annabeth asked a question that made mad. No, it's not against rules, as that is only for the Greek demigods, and to answer your question, I wasn't made a demigod in the normal way. My original mother Kushina and father Minato are monsters and used me in a ritual that sacrificed 2-3 RDS of my soul. I was slowly dying for 5 years, however my godly mother saved me by giving me part of her essence that healed my soul, Naruto told them, shocking them at his answers and how evil his original parents were. The group then walked back to the diner, however before they arrived Naruto put Hades' invisibility cap back on and saw Ares waiting for them at his bike. The group quickly gave him his shield, and in return Ares showed them a truck. He also told Percy that his mother was still alive and was captured by Hades. They then watched Ares drive off on his motorbike. The group then got into the truck, however it was revealed that it was an illegal smuggling truck, shocking everyone and making them uncomfortable. Naruto was looking at the lion and then walked over to it and threw the bars, making everyone scared that Naruto was about to be mauled, but they were shocked when Naruto gently stroked the lion's mane and sat down in front of it, allowing it to put its head on his legs, allowing him to stroke it more, making him smile. The group then quickly arrived at Las Vegas, however before getting off the truck Naruto bent the bars to the lion's cage, allowing it to come free. Naruto then used his magic, making it shrink to the size of a house cat, shocking Percy and Grover. However Annabeth squealed and hugged the lion. Naruto then sent his mother a message and the lion quickly disappeared. Where did the lion go? Grover asked as he looked around but couldn't find him, making Naruto smile. I sent a message to my mother and she used some of her power to transport the lion to her. I have always wanted a pet lion, but my mother said I wasn't old enough, Naruto said to his group, surprising them. However when they heard the last part they sweat dropped. The group quickly arrived at the Lotus Hotel and Casino and walked in through the door to see a massive room filled with gambling tables where cards games were being played, as well as a massive roller coaster at the back of the casino. There was even an arcade. However each of the areas were filled with people. The Greek demigod soon got too interested in the casino and the atmosphere and started to sample the food around the casino, leaving Naruto behind, who sighed and shook his head in disappointment and walked to the back of the casino where the VIP rooms were and walked into them. Naruto quickly found who he was looking for. It was a woman with long brown hair wearing a maroon Greek toga with a snake around her neck. Naruto then walked over to her, shocking the woman. Hello 𝐸, I've come here to play the real games and not those for the morons outside, Naruto told the goddess, who could only stare. Oh, and you think you have the money to play those types of games? 𝐸 asked, making Naruto smirk and open a gate next to him, catching 𝐸's attention. She then saw gold and gems fall out of the ripple and onto the floor, forming a pile. Naruto and 𝐸 then walked over to the VIP counters and started to play with and against each other, with 𝐸 losing most of the games, making Naruto thank his golden rule internally when he watched 𝐸 get frustrated. The game got to the point of exchanges of information and favors. Naruto was even able to find out the location of the underworld. Naruto then set off to find the other group he was with and saw them making a scene as they escaped, making Naruto facepalm. When Naruto walked out, he heard Annabeth telling Percy that they were in the casino for 5 days and that they had less time to find the lighting bolt, making everyone worry. However Naruto revealed where the location to the underworld was, making the group quickly get into a car and drive to Los Angeles. While in Los Angeles they made a stop at the sea for Percy, where he met the Nereid from the river and she gave him 3 pearls and told him to use them when he was in great need. After Percy got back to the group, he showed what he was given and Annabeth explained what they were. The group then quickly found the entrance at Doa Studios, and once they entered the studio, they found the entrance to the underworld and used it and found themselves at the gates of the underworld, where a man on a boat was waiting for them. Who are you? The man asked to the group, making them whisper to each other. We need to see Hades, Percy told the man. However he didn't seem interested. Then die and come back, the living have no place in the underworld, the man told the group, making them sigh. However Naruto was getting tired of this journey and wanted to finish it. Okay Charon, we don't have time for this, so how about this, Naruto said as he opened a gate and made tons of gold fall out of it, surprising everyone. I will give you this gold if you take us to Hades and allow some of the kids across after us. Naruto told the man as he looked at the gold and then nodded his head. Every well hop on, Charon said, making everyone do as they were told and get onto the man's boat as he took them thought the underworld and to Hades' castle. Once arriving at the castle, the group started to walk to the entrance when a 3-headed dog jumped out at them and started to bark and bite at them, making Percy, Annabeth and Grover scared and jumped back in fright. However Naruto just stares at the dog. Annabeth, using her quick thinking, used a red ball to catch the dog's attention and then threw the ball away, giving them time to pass. The group then continued to walk through the underworld until they passed the fields of asphodel, and then they passed the pit of Tartarus. However, as they approached the entrance to Tartarus, Luke's shoes that he gifted to Percy, then gave to Grover, tried to pull Grover into the pit, but Grover was able to slip the shoes free and with help from Percy and Annabeth was able to stand back up. The group then made it to Hades' castle and walked through the door to see Hades waiting for them on his throne with Percy's mother in a cage. "Why have you come here, demigods?" Hades asked a group. However, before anyone could say anything, Percy was the first to respond. "Hades, we're here to get the master bolt that you stole from Zeus and prevent you from starting a war," Percy told the god, making Naruto, 𝐵𝐸𝐵 and 𝐴NIBAL and Grover look afraid. "War? War? You think I want war? Have you seen the fields of punishment? Or the fields of asphodel? I have no need for war. It would only make my job worse and even more unbearable, and you think I want a war?" Hades ranted to the demigods, making Naruto feel sorry for him as he couldn't even work himself to death. Truly, paperwork is the thing of nightmares that curses everyone who is responsible, Naruto thought as he looked at Hades with pity, and Hades looked at Naruto, who had the same haunted look on his face. "Ah, a fellow sufferer who knows the pain for the dreaded paperwork," Hades thought, but then looked at Percy's backpack and felt something from it. "Ah, I see you wish to start a war, didn't you?" Hades told the boy, who looked confused at the god's words. "What are you saying? I don't understand." Percy asked the god, confused. "Enough games, boy, I know you have the bolt in your backpack. Now out with it," Hades told the boy, making him look even more confused. "I'm getting tired of this back and forth, so I'm just going to speak and clear this up. Percy has the master bolt because it doesn't belong to him, rather it was given to him by 𝐤𝐢𝐳. 𝐤𝐢𝐳 has also stolen your helm and plans to start a war," Naruto said aloud, catching everyone's attention, making Percy look into his backpack and pull out the bolt, shocking 𝐴NIBAL and Grover. "How long have you known where the bolt was?" 𝐴NIBAL asked Naruto. "Since the beginning of the quest. I have told you I can see the future and have known what was going to happen since the beginning," Naruto told her, making the demigod mad at him. "Why didn't you tell us?" 𝐴NIBAL asked Naruto, annoyed. "The same reason why the gods don't help you, entertainment," Naruto told the group, shocking them by his answer. "Any way to get things back on track, and because this whole journey has been annoying and boring, I'm willing to get the bolt and your helmet back, and in return, you let my group and I leave with Percy's mother," Naruto told Hades, shocking the group again, making Hades smirk. "You are one strange demigod. What makes you think that I would do as you say?" Hades asked Naruto, making him smirk this time. "Because I know you would never hurt a mother, as you love your own too much to do that. What I said was only part of the reason why I came. The other is to tell you this: your mother is in a bad place right now and feels betrayed by her children. So I came to tell you to visit your mother more, or just send her a letter when you're busy," Naruto told Hades, making him give a sad smile at the thought of his mother and nodded his head. "Very well, you may leave, however you must bring my helmet back to me." Hades agreed to the exchange, making Percy's team sigh in relief. Percy's team quickly used the pearls that they were given to transport away from Underworld, while Naruto just waved at Hades and vanished into golden particles. When everyone got their bearing, they found themselves at a beach and saw 𝐤𝐢𝐳. "Damn it. You and your team was supposed to die on your way to death breath, but I guess since you brought the lightning bolt, I might as well steal it and start the war," 𝐤𝐢𝐳 said to the group. However, his response was laughter from Naruto, making him angry. "You a mongrel start a war between the gods? That is the best joke that I have heard in a long time. If you want the lightning bolt, mongrel, come and get it," Naruto said, walking to 𝐤𝐢𝐳, and on the way took the lightning bolt from Percy and throw it into a golden ripple. "I'm going to enjoy killing you, boy," 𝐤𝐢𝐳 said as he charged at Naruto, making him sigh and summon 2 golden swords and start clashing swords with 𝐤𝐢𝐳, with no one coming out the victor. The fight continued to increase in intensity, with each of the fighters trying to maim the other and looking for opening, with Naruto looking fine. However, 𝐤𝐢𝐳 had cuts all over his body that were bleeding itcher. The fight increased even more when 𝐤𝐢𝐳 started to use more power, however it was matched by Naruto. "You're good, kid, I'll give you that," 𝐤𝐢𝐳 told Naruto, making him smirk. "And you're boring me. Try harder. Cut me, stab me, come on you mongrel, for a god of war. My mother gives me a better fight than you," Naruto said, making 𝐤𝐢𝐳 angry and started to use his powers even more, but Naruto just kept blocking his swings with his own. Percy and his group were shocked when they saw Naruto fighting 𝐤𝐢𝐳 evenly and even had the upper hand in the fight. He hasn't been cut, while 𝐤𝐢𝐳 had them all over his boy. The group then watched as the intensity of the fight increased as each clash of their swords a shockwave would happen. The fight continued for a little while longer, however it paused when 𝐤𝐢𝐳 was on his knees and Naruto was smirking down at him, making him even more angry at him, and started to transform into his godly form. Once the light died down, Naruto saw an effigy of a human made out of flame, and it rushed to attack Naruto, making him sigh and dodge out of the way, and continued to do so for each attack 𝐤𝐢𝐳 sent out to hit him. "You're so weak that even with all of your power you still cannot touch me. Now be a good dog and sit," Naruto said as he kicked 𝐤𝐢𝐳, sending him flying back to the sea. However, 𝐤𝐢𝐳 quickly got back up and charged at Naruto, making his eye twitch and cast a spell under his breath. "You're annoying me with your persistence, mongrel, so I shall teach you to behave," Naruto said as he slammed the two of his sword handles together, making attached to each other. The swords then changed their angle and had a golden string coming from the tips of the blade forming a bow. "I shall now show you the true power of a god," Naruto yelled as he kicked Ares back again and aimed the bow at Ares. Behold! The inferno of destruction fills the heavens. Come forth. The surge of Utnapishtim. This is what it means to destroy the world. Heroic spirits, suffer the curse that the insolence of challenging the king of heroes has brought upon ye. Naruto said out loud, catching everyone's attention. Everyone then looked like a magic circle appear at the front of the bow when Naruto released an arrow hitting next to Ares. Everyone thought he missed, however everyone had look up when they saw a bright light heading towards Ares, but watch as the attack vanished, only to be replaced by red lines covering the sky. Everyone then heard a cracking sound and watched as the sky broke apart, revealing two tsunamis on top of them. When Percy's group opened their eyes, they saw that they were all still alive and looked to where Naruto is to see him trapping an unconscious Ares in golden chains to make sure that he doesn't escape. They then watched as he walked over to Ares' bike and removed Hades' helmet. The group then quickly traveled to New York on Naruto's Vimana and arrived at the Empire State Building, where they used the entrance to Olympus to travel there to give Zeus his bolt back. When everyone was on Olympus, they saw a large mountain with Greek architecture all over it. As they continued walking, they pass all types of gods and creatures. The group quickly got to the Olympian chambers and saw that the Olympians were already arguing with one another, making Naruto sigh and summon his throne to sit on. When the gods stopped arguing, they saw Percy's group bowing to them. However, Naruto was sitting in his golden throne with an unconscious Ares on the floor next to him. "Why don't you bow to us like the others?" Zeus asked, making Naruto looked at him boredly and yawned at him, making him mate. "Me bow to you? Don't make me laugh. I don't bow to anyone, and the only way you can make me is to force me," Naruto told them all in the room as he summoned a golden cup and filled it with wine and then took a sip. "You dare say that to me, the king of the gods?" Zeus bellowed in rage, but Naruto still looked bored. "You mean the king of nepotism and idiots? Half this council are your children that you placed here to stop them from going against you, and the other half are your brothers and sisters. Besides, you're worthless and useless that you tricked your brother into their domains, because I find I weird how you the youngest is the king when I should have go to the oldest brother and you down in the underworld," Naruto told him, making everyone got silent at the disrespect Naruto was showing Zeus. Zeus got so mad at what Naruto was saying that he went to attack Naruto but ended up in the same chains that bound Ares, preventing him from moving. Naruto got up from his throne and summoned a permanent marker and started to write and draw all over Zeus's face. Once Naruto was done, Zeus had phallic images and other words written on his face, making some of the less mature gods laugh at him, making Zeus angrier, but he couldn't escape the chains. Now then, Percy and his group have returned with the lightning bolt and has decided to return it to you to prevent war from breaking out. However, we also need to talk about a problem that we have. You need to start treating your children with respect and not entertainment. You have brought them into this world and you expect them to be subservient to you, and your whims. Well, enough is enough. Either you start treating your kids with respect, or the next time you see me on this mountain will be when I destroy it. Oh, and to you four of you in this room, you are crappy sons and daughters abandoning your mother," Naruto told everyone in the room as they opened a gate and dropped the lightning bolt and left. It is a stale silence as everyone in the looked shocked at what Naruto said. Naruto quickly arrived in his house to see all of the girls playing games with each other as he saw the board games out and being played. Naruto walked up to his girlfriends and gave each a kiss on the lips, making Ray jealous, and sat down at the table. "So what have you been up to the past few days, Naruto?" Ninsen asked, making Naruto explain the quest he went on and how boring it was. However, Mordred was laughing. "So that what has been going on? I can't believe that Zeus lost his favorite weapon to his warmongering son when he wasn't looking," Amaterasu said with a shake of her head and a tired sigh. "I can't believe Naruto said what he did to their faces and simply walked away," Mordred said as she continued to laugh. "I can't believe how bad it got up there," Ray said sadly, making Naruto hug her and give her a smile, making her blush. "So what do we do with them now?" Artoria asked Naruto, making him sigh. "They still have time to achieve Plan 1. However, think Plan 2 is most likely to happen," Naruto said as he put his head into Tomomo's lap and fell asleep. Naruto was enjoying his date with Tomomo, and they decided that they would go to a restaurant to enjoy themselves. As they arrived, they got to talking with each other about how they have been and what they have been doing. Throughout the talk, Naruto had a smile on his face as he got to spend time with one of his precious people. They continued to talk with each other after the end of their meal and talked about more important things that they were going to do now that Naruto has exposed himself to the gods and his threat to them about treating their kids with respect. "I still think we should wait for a more opportune moment to attack the Olympians instead of assaulting them in a head-to-head battle. It would save us time to wait for the Titans to attack them," Tomomo told Naruto, making him look at her and smile. "That might be a good idea. I still cannot believe a dimension like this still exists, where the gods use the collect unconscious thoughts of humans to stay alive. The hilarious part is that they change when humanity thinks differently of them. Naruto said out loud with a laugh, making Tamamo giggle too. Yeah, well, can you blame them? They were born at the end of Age of Gods and were forced to adapt when the Age of Men began, Tamamo said, making Naruto frown. They're right, but you would think that they would have learned of the importance of humanity, but they only think they are only useful for a quick lay and to meet their whims, Naruto said with a frown, however smiled once he saw Tamamo's ears and began to stroke them, making her purr. Naruto and Tamamo then walked back home talking to each other. However, while they were talking, they were attacked by hellhounds that Tamamo quickly took care of with her talismans, making Naruto smile at her and pick her up bridal style and continued to walk home with Tamamo resting her head in the crux of Naruto's neck and falling asleep. When the two arrived back at home, Naruto saw the lion. He saved resting in Artoria's lap with her stroking it. Naruto quickly dropped Tamamo in her room and came back downstairs and sat down next to Artoria, stroking the lion's mane. Have you thought of a name for him yet? Artoria asked Naruto, making him look at her and smile. I was thinking of allowing you to name him, Naruto told Artoria, making her smile and look at the lion who fell asleep due to all the petting. How about Nemia from the tale of the Nemean lion? So how is your date with Tamamo? Artoria asked, making Naruto smile and then frown. It went well, and the food was eatable. However, on the way back, Tamamo and I were attacked by some hellhounds. I think something is wrong with the camp, as all the monsters around America are getting more confident in attacking demigods. Naruto told her, making her frown as well. Do you think you should help them? Artoria asked, making Naruto look annoyed. Me help those mongrels? What a waste of my time and power, Naruto said, making Artoria giggle, making him look confused. I think you're just playing hard and was waiting for me to ask you to do it. Besides, it is your responsibility as the strongest demigod to look after those weaker than you. Artoria told Naruto with a smile and rest her head on his shoulder. You're lucky that I'm not the archer version of my brother, otherwise I would have laughed in your face and mocked you for your ideals. But you're right, I do need to look after them, but I'm not doing it alone. I'm going to take you and Mordred with me to protect the camp, Naruto said with a laugh, making Artoria pout and then laugh. Fine, then we're going to the camp tomorrow, Artoria commanded, making Naruto smile and pick her up and lead her to the master bedroom. The next morning, Artoria and Mordred were getting prepared to defend the camp from monsters, with the both of them packing mostly food. However, they were interrupted when Naruto walked into the room and put all the food that they wanted into his vault, making Artoria and Mordred pout and the other girls laugh at them. When they were all ready, Naruto opened a gate and took the Vamana out and sat down on the throne. Artoria and Mordred soon sat on Naruto's lap, making him wrap his arms around them and controlled the Vamana to levitate into the air, and once they got high enough, they began to fly towards the camp. When they got to the border of the camp, Naruto spotted that the barrier around the camp kept flickering, making Naruto sigh and told the girls what was going on, making them nodded their heads. Everyone then got off the Vamana and walked into the camp to see all of the campers getting ready to fight. Naruto then spotted Chiron packing his things and walked towards him. What is going on, Chiron? Naruto asked the centaur, making him turn around to see Naruto and two girls. The tree that acted as the barrier has been poisoned by someone, and the gods believe that since I'm the camp counselor, it was my fault that it happened. A group have gone to find the golden fleece in a hope to heal the tree, Chiron told the group, making Naruto sigh and frown. Great, well, it doesn't matter, me and my friends will deal with the monsters that come to attack the camp. You just tell the campers to protect their cabins, Naruto said, making the centaur nod his head. Naruto, Artoria and Mordred then walked to the edge of the camp. So we're just going to stay here and kill a bunch of monster to protect a bunch of kids, Mordred said loud, making Artoria sigh and Naruto to laugh. Blame Artoria, she was the one to tell me to protect them, and I just thought why I should do this alone when I could have more fun with my girlfriends, Naruto said, making Mordred glare at Artoria. However, she quickly smiled and hugged Naruto, making Artoria pout. The group then heard a roar and saw a group of hellhounds running towards them. Artoria and Mordred quickly summoned their swords. However, before they could kill any of the hellhounds, they were quickly killed when Naruto opened his gate of Babylon to quickly kill them all. Hey, why did you do that? Mordred yelled, annoyed, making Naruto laugh, making her pout. They were interrupting our talk with each other and they needed to be punished, so I was one to deliver it, Naruto told them in a high and mighty tone, making them giggle. Naruto was quickly able to set up a camp for them to rest at and set up multiple barriers to protect them while they were eating or sleeping. Naruto even set up traps in other locations to make sure that their flank is protected from attacks. While Naruto setting up the camp, Artoria and Mordred summoned their armor as well and started to kill the monsters with their swords and were quickly able to take down hordes of hellhounds with their physical strength, allowing them to save their trump cards. The group then went on to protect the camp for the rest of the day, with each member taking a specific role while they were fighting. Naruto was the long-range support using his Gate of Babylon to kill the more numerous and flying monsters. Mordred was the tank and was using her sword to attack the bigger monsters like 𝐫𝐸 Giant, and Artoria was the DPS and was attacking the faster monsters like 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝 Bull, with her Excalibur cutting though the metal. With Nicen, Tiamat and Ray were sitting in the house that Naruto brought for everyone and were talking to each other and laughing with each other. I see, you must be really happy for your children, Nicen, watching them grow into strong and independent men that protect the people, Ray said with a sad smile. I am proud of them, they have had to face many trials through their lives, but they have faced them and became better people for it, Nicen said with a melancholic smile making. I only wished my children were the same, but with each problem they face and solve they become more arrogant, and I'm scared that the same will happen if they defeat their father again. I don't even know where I went wrong, all I want was for them to be safe and happy, Ray said sadly as she started to weep, making Nicen and Tiamat hug her. I know how you feel. I was in the same place as you are when I watched my own children kill their own father. I just wanted them to be happy, however they soon turned their weapons on me once they thought I was a threat to them and their plans. I was then used to make the heavens and the earth, but I still love them. It wasn't until I met Naruto that I understood that my love wasn't misplaced, however it was excessive, Tiamat said with a sad smile, making the other woman simile as well. So what do I do? What can I do? Ray asked, making Nicen and Tiamat give a bright smile. We need to wait for Naruto and his plan to come ahead, as he and his girlfriends will be able to become a threat that they won't be able to solve easily and will destroy their ego. Nicen said to Ray, making her blush. Oh my, I see that you like my son as well, Nicen said with a giggle, making Ray's blush deepen, making Tiamat giggle as well. I mean, what is there not to like? He's strong, kind and loyal, he even knows the importance of the normal people, he is the opposite of my ex-husband. The only problem is the other girls and how to tell him how I feel. Ray told the other woman, making them laugh. You don't need to worry about the other girls, Ray, they most likely already know how you feel about Naruto and are just waiting for you to tell him, and as for Naruto, he already knows how you feel as soon as you developed feelings for him and is just waiting for you to ask him out, Tiamat told the Titaness, who looked embarrassed. But why would he wait for me to confess to him if he already knows? Ray asked Nicen, who looked at her with a smile. Because he is testing you, he is waiting to see if you have the confidence to ask him out, but it is also a test to see if you have the confidence to stand by his side and not behind him, Nicen explained to the woman, making her nod at her head in understanding. But Naruto was currently using the Gate of Babylon to kill some Stymphalian birds with a bunch of swords, while Mordred and Artoria were resting and talking to each other. Once he saw that there were no more monsters, he sat next to Mordred and Artoria. So Naruto, you do know right that Ray has a crush on you and that me and the other girls have spotted it. So why haven't you asked her out? Artoria asked as she put her head on Naruto's shoulder, making Naruto smile. I'm just waiting for her to see if she's willing to take the risk of being with me, and so she knows the consequences of being with me, Naruto said as he saw Mordred put her head on his lap and he started to stroke her hair, making her fall asleep. I see. Well, how long do you think we will have to protect the camp for? Artoria asked, making Naruto sigh. Knowing how useless these demigods are when it comes to completing a task, probably for a while, Naruto told her, making her giggle. They are only inexperienced children, Naruto, Artoria told her boyfriend, making him give her a smile. I still don't get why their parents don't help them. I mean, their kids are in danger and they just sit on their thrones and watch them struggle. Zeus is such a terrible king that all he cares about is holding Chiron responsible for the decline in the barrier, that he doesn't care about finding the one truly responsible. I'm pretty sure that some of the Olympians want to protect their children, but are scared of Zeus and his paranoia, Naruto told her, making her nod her head, and after some more talking, Artoria fell asleep, leaving Naruto to protect the camp. The next day the group woke up and decided to make a game out of killing the monster by tallying the amount of monster each person kills. Naruto was currently winning, Mordred was in second, and Artoria was in last place. So how far are they into their quest? Because they don't have a lot of time left before the tree fully dies and the barrier will disappear with it, Mordred asked, making Naruto look in a direction before a confused look appeared on his face. The group went into the sea of monsters to find the golden fleece. Their quest was going well, but they were swallowed by something and now they're in its mouth. So I say they're about 50% of the way there, but they also have a 50-50th chance of being eaten, Naruto told them, making them look happy, but then a disgusted look crossed their faces. Great. So we might be here for a while protecting a bunch of kids from monsters, Mordred said aloud, making Naruto and Artoria laugh. Don't worry, Mordred, if it comes to it then I will set up my own barrier to keep the monsters out and away from the camp. The only reason why I have done so yet is because I want to give these demigods a chance to prove themselves to me so that I can find the worth in them, Naruto told them, making them both sigh in relief. The group then got prepared to defend the camp again. With 𝐸𝐴𝐵𝐾𝐸 and the girls. 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 and the other girls were getting ready with each other as they were going to walk around New York for a while to enjoy the sights and other places around New York, and while doing so noting important locations to the Greeks. So what do you girls think about Naruto's plan for the Olympians? 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 asked, making to Momo, and 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 look at her and made a thinking face. I think it has a good chance at working. I mean, if they we us climbing Olympus on Tiamat, then they're going to freak out and start to attack us, and he had a good idea to make us face the opponents war would face. Naruto knows that Amaterasu is stronger than Apollo. He knows that Mordred would have fun fighting Ares, but will still win. He also knows that Artoria can handle Artemis as she is quick enough, so Artemis won't have the advantage, Momo said, making the other girls nod their heads. Yeah, I get what you mean. I would be scared too if I saw the dragon form of Tiamat coming towards me. So what are we going to do about Ray? 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 asked the girls around her, making the giggle. I think it's nice, she gets her own happiness after being separated from the monster of an ex-husband. She is now free to enjoy herself and be her own person, Amaterasu said with a large smile. I heard her talking to Ninsen and Tiamat about it yesterday, and they both explained to her that we already knew about her feelings, and so does Naruto. She was at shock, but understood why we are waiting for her to ask Naruto out, Momo said to the others in the room, making them giggle. That's good, I wouldn't want her to feel like the only man that she has an interest in is unattainable, making her feel worse and alone, 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 said, making to others nod their head in agreement. Naruto probably knows that as well, and why he been around a lot to show that she can ask him out anytime that she wants, Momo said, making the others in the room give a bright smile in response. I still cannot believe that her children haven't visited her or talked to her in ages. I don't think that I could handle my children not talking to me again. The Greeks haven't even tried to find their mother or ask Naruto where she is or if she is safe. Amaterasu said with a frown, making Momo hug her and 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 look thoughtful. That might be why Naruto has been helping at the camp as much as he can, as he knows how much Ray loves her family and has decided to help them indirectly without telling everyone, 𝐸𝐵𝐻𝐸𝐴 said, making everyone laugh. Yes, that does sound like something that he would do. It goes to show how much Naruto likes to help others, even when they don't realize that he has helped them, Momo said, making the other girls laugh harder. But Naruto. Naruto sneezed as he was killing a 𝐞𝐽 bull using a sword he summoned to his hand, making both Artoria and Mordred look at Naruto in concern. Are you catching a cold, Naruto? If so, go and take a break, me and Mordred can handle it from here, Artoria said as she decapitated a hellhound with her Excalibur and then walked over to Naruto with Mordred doing the same. I'm fine, I think someone was just talking about me, besides I cannot get any type of sickness, the perks of being 2-3 RDS god. I think the other girls might be talking about me, Naruto told them, making them think about it and nod their heads. I guess you're right about not getting sick. By the way, how is the barrier around the camp holding up? Mordred asked Naruto, making him look behind and then looked back at the girls. It is holding well, but the power used to make it work is lowering. If a monster attacks the barrier once, then the barrier will break and the monsters can enter the camp. The good news is that Percy, Annabeth and Clarice have found the fleece and are on their way back to heal the tree, Naruto told them, making them sigh in relief. That is good news, Artoria and Mordred said together, making everyone laugh, but they had to stop when they saw more monsters running towards them. They sure are persistent with their constant attacks on the camp. You would think by now that the place was protected and they cannot get to the kids inside, Mordred said, making Naruto and Artoria sigh in annoyance. It is because of the smell the Greek demigods produce that attracts the monsters towards the camp, and without the barrier fully working, their smell is broadcasted across America, attracting the least intelligent monsters here. That is why we have only been fighting 𝐞𝐽 bulls, Laestrygonian giants and hellhounds. The smarter monsters either know better to come and attack the camp or are serving Kronos as part of his army, Naruto told them, making them nod their heads at the information that they were given. Surely Zeus know that Kronos is rising from Tartarus and has started making an army to march on Olympus to either kill them or to make them their servants, Artoria said, making Naruto nod his head. Oh, he does know, as he was told by Ares after he was healed that he was controlled by someone to steal the Master Bolt and then make sure it was then delivered to the underworld. Zeus just doesn't want to believe that his father is returning, as he is terrified of him, and so he hasn't made any preparations for the war, Naruto told them, shocking them. Wait, you mean to tell me that they aren't doing anything to prepare to fight Kronos? Are they idiots or just that arrogant? Artoria yelled, making Naruto laugh. It is a bit of both. They believe that if he is rising, then they have enough gods to fight them, and I wouldn't say all of the gods are sitting on their ass. Hephaestus is making more weapons and automaton to protect Olympus, Hades is making sure that the underworld is safe and that there are more guards protecting the pit. Demeter is making sure that everyone has enough food to eat, and Hermes is collecting information and sending it to the others, Naruto told them, making the sigh in relief. At least some of them are preparing for the war, Artoria said in relief. Well, it would be the height of stupidity if they didn't, Mordred said in annoyance. The group then continued to protect the camp while waiting for the group on the quest to return. The group then continued to protect the camp the next day until they see a girl running towards them and from the monsters that were behind them. As the girl got closer, Artoria managed to see that it was Clarice and told both Naruto and Mordred, who then helped to kill the monsters behind Clarice. Well, come back to camp. I take it that the other with you on the quest will be joining us soon. Artoria asked Clarice once she stopped running and allowing her to catch her breath. That right, we only had enough money to buy one plane ticket and once I got off the plane, I ran all the way here with a fleece. Clarice said to the group, making them nod their heads and lead her back to the camp. Once everyone got into the camp, Clarice quickly explained how the quest went and how they were attacked by the traitor Luke and his monster forces that tried to prevent Clarice and her group to make it to the fleece. Clarice then quickly went to the tree that was responsible for the barrier and placed the golden fleece around the half-dead tree. Everyone had to only wait a minute before the tree was fully healed. However, to the shock of everyone, a girl appeared next to the tree. Great, another one of Zeus mongrels, Naruto thought as he put a hand on Artoria's and Mordred's shoulder and they started to disappear. Naruto, Artoria and Mordred then reformed at their house and saw that Amaterasu was doing Tamamo's hair and the other women laughed with each other. However, when they saw the group enter the house, they quickly greeted them and began talking. So what was the problem at the camp? Amaterasu asked the group. The barrier around the camp was weakening and it was allowing the monsters to smell the demigods and began to attack the camp. Some demigods were sent on a quest to receive the golden fleece, Artoria told them, making them nod their heads. Yeah, but we didn't go, we were protecting the camp, Mordred told everyone, surprising them. So Naruto, what was the reason why you didn't want to go on this quest? Ninsen asked her son, who looked annoyed at the question. Because last time it was incredibly boring and if any of the demigods had half a brain they would have finished the quest in half the time. I just didn't want to be bored while watching them play hide and seek with a fleece, Naruto told them, making them laugh. When he heard the laughing, Naruto's eye twitched. Well, it seemed like our plans are working, Tamamo said, making everyone give a sound of agreement. So what's next, Naruto? Tiamat asked Naruto, making him smirk. A certain goddess of the hunt will have to endure a certain titan's curse and I will be joining them on the quest with Tamamo, Naruto told them, shocking them, but Tamamo looked really happy. Naruto was currently relaxing in his bedroom with Artoria and Mordred sleeping next to him while hugging him. When Naruto saw their happy similes as they slept, made Naruto smile. However, he quickly frowned as he needed to get ready. Naruto opened one of his gates and made it drop 2 teddy bears, then he quickly replaced himself with making Artoria and Mordred squish their faces into their teddies. Naruto quickly got dressed and left the room and got the breakfast that was cooked by Ninsen. Soon the whole table was full of people eating breakfast. Naruto soon finished eating his breakfast and then turned to Tamamo, who was still eating. You ready, Tamamo? Today is the day where we go to the camp. Naruto asked Tamamo, making her quickly finish what she was eating and turned to face Naruto. Really already? Tamamo asked, making Naruto nod his head. So what is the plan? Tamamo asked Naruto again. We are just going to the camp and follow the flow until the right time shows itself to us. While we are waiting for things to fit into place, we can enjoy ourselves. Naruto told her, making her smile and quickly finish her breakfast and run upstairs. Naruto then waited for Tamamo to come back downstairs. However, he didn't need to wait for long as she quickly came back down wearing a black frilly dress with blue bows on the sleeves with a white rose on each bow. Tamamo even had a small black hat on top of her with a blue bow around each of her ears. Well, how do I look? Tamamo asked Naruto, making him smile and grab her hands. Like one of the treasures that belong in my collection, Naruto told her, making her blush. The duo then left the house with Naruto summoning the Vamana and the both getting onto it, with Naruto sitting on the throne and Tamamo on his lap. The two quickly arrived at the camp and got off and walked out the camp with everyone looking at Naruto and Tamamo, with some of the boys having large blushes, making Naruto mad. However, Tamamo quickly held his hand, making him happy, but gave the boys a glare, making them flinch and run away. Naruto and Tamamo quickly found Percy, Annabeth, Grover and Thalia talking and joking with each other. However, they quickly went silent when they saw Naruto and Tamamo, but Thalia was quick to break the silence. Who are you? She asked in an annoyed tone, making Percy, Annabeth and Grover pale at the girl. Oh, so the spawn of the king of idiots speaks, Naruto said, making Percy, Annabeth and Grover pale even more. However, Thalia looks angry. Oh, I ask you a question, answer it before I get violent, Thalia said to Naruto pridefully, making Naruto look angry and everyone else get ready to stop a fight. So you do have a backbone, good. I would hate for you to be like the rest of these mongrels that follow everything that they are told. I'm Naruto, son of the goddess Ninsen, Naruto told the girl with a smirk, making her mad. What are you doing here, Naruto? We are currently preparing to go and pick up some demigods and bring them back to camp. And who is the person next to you? Percy told Naruto, trying to prevent a fight from breaking out between Naruto and Thalia. I'm here to join you in your mission to bring back those demigods. After all, I haven't had much fun recently, and the last time I was in camp, I had to protect it from all the monsters coming to eat the campers, and the person next to me is Tamamo no Mae, the child of Amaterasu, Naruto told them, making some of them sigh in annoyance. However, Annabeth was in shock. Tamamo? As in the nine-tailed fox from Japan? Annabeth asked the two, making Naruto and Tamamo frown. Yes, but I wouldn't believe all the stories that you read, as most of the time they're mixed with fiction to make the hero look better, something the Greeks are good at, Naruto told them, making them nod their heads in reluctant agreement. Well, we're off now, Annabeth said as she started to leave, with everyone following behind them as she, Percy, Grover and Thalia entered the bus and Naruto and Tamamo getting onto the Vimana and following behind them. Naruto and Tamamo followed behind the bus until they arrived at a school, making Percy, Annabeth, Grover and Thalia get off the bus and used the mist to trick the teachers into joining the kids at the school. Naruto and Tamamo drank an invisibility potion that was in Naruto vault and followed behind the group as they found the demigods at the school. Naruto and Tamamo watches Percy, Annabeth and Thalia pulled Bianca and Naiko D'Angelo away from the class and started to talk to them and explain how they were demigods, making Bianca suspicious of them. However, Naiko was excited and started to label stats from his card game. The group was interrupted when Grover said that there was a monsters was close to them, making the group look around and found Mr. Thorn, who revealed himself to be a manticore and started to attack the group, poisoning Percy. Before anyone could act, Naruto and Tamamo revealed themselves and attacked the manticore with a barrage of swords. However, before the beast was killed, a sliver arrow hit and killed the manticore. Percy, Annabeth, Thalia, Grover, Bianca and Naiko looked to where the arrow was shot from to see a 12-year-old girl with shoulder-length raven black hair and striking silver-gray eyes. However, those eyes were narrowed on Naruto, who didn't seem to care. The girl was then followed by girls that looked the same age as the one before, and they were all glaring at Naruto, who was speaking to Tamamo and ignoring them, making them mad. Right now we have to deal with the hunters, Thalia said, making Annabeth and Percy sigh, but Grover looked like he was in love. However, before anyone could do anything, the manticore got back up and went to attack Percy and Thalia, but Annabeth pushed them out of the way, but was hit by the manticore as it disappeared. When everyone looked for Annabeth, they couldn't find her. Percy and Thalia started to panic, and in their panic, they blamed the hunters for not killing it. However, they quickly calmed down when Artemis introduced herself and told them to calm down. Artemis then orders her hunters to set up camp. She then invites Percy to come and have a talk with her, along with Bianca. The two of them then followed Artemis into her tent where Zoe was waiting for her. Then she and Percy talked, and Bianca was invited to join the hunt. However, before she could speak her choice, a voice interrupted her thoughts. "I wouldn't join if I was you, girl," the voice told her, shocking everyone at the voice. "Show yourself immediately," Artemis said as she took out her bow and nocked an arrow. "I'm over here," the voice told them, making them look to the voice and saw Naruto sitting in a throne. "Who art thou?" Zoe asked Naruto, making him smirk at her. "I'm Naruto, the son to the goddess Ninsen, and I'm here to make sure that Bianca doesn't make the worst mistake in her life," Naruto introduced himself and then told them why he was here, making the goddess narrow her eyes. "You're also the person that continues to disrespect us gods, and what do you mean when you say you're here to prevent Bianca from making a mistake?" Artemis told Naruto and then asked her question. "Why should I respect a bunch of mongrels that don't even show love to their own family? And what I mean that I'm stopping Bianca from making a mistake. Let me ask you this, Bianca, do you love your brother?" Naruto told the goddess, who looked ready to shoot him, and then looked at Bianca. "I do love my brother more than anything," Bianca told Naruto, making him nod his head. "That's right, and nothing is more important than family. That is why I'm telling you to ignore the goddess, as if you do join them, you will never be able to see your brother again, as they will prevent you, as they have a hatred to males," Naruto told her, shocking her. However, Naruto wasn't finished. "And the final problem that you will have to face is Artemis herself. She will quickly turn on you the moment you lose your maidenhood, either through choice or otherwise. She has done so to Calypso when she was raped by Zeus," Naruto told Bianca, who quickly pale and looked shocked. However, both Zoe and Artemis had a dark look on their face. "I see, then I'm going to have to turn you down, Lady Artemis, as I would like to spend more time with my brother," Bianca told the goddess and then quickly left the tent, making Percy and Naruto smile. Percy then left the tent and Naruto was going to follow. However, he was stopped when he felt Artemis's killing intent. "Oh, so you want to attack me, goddess of the moon? However, let me remind that I have the power to lay waste to this planet," Naruto told the goddess with a smirk, making her angry. However, quickly paled and relented, letting Naruto leave the tent. "Milady, are you sure it was wise to allow that man to leave unharmed?" Zoe asked her patron, making Artemis nod her head. "It was Zoe. If we attack him, then he would have retaliated, and I cannot be sure of the safety of the hunters if that was to happen," Artemis told her lieutenant, making her nod her head. "But Naruto?" Naruto was currently resting in his tent with Tamamo explaining what she was doing while Naruto was talking to Artemis, making him frown, as most of the hunter thought that Tamamo was a monster and tried to kill her, but was stopped when Tamamo used her talismans. Naruto then spent the rest of the night brushing Tamamo's tail, making her fall asleep with a happy smile on her face, making Naruto smile. When Tamamo woke up the next morning, she felt Naruto rubbing her ears, making her blush and Mule alerting Naruto that she was awake. "Have you been brushing my fur all night?" Tamamo asked with a large smile that Naruto returned. "Of course I have. I know that what the hunters said last night made you feel, so I decide to make sure you were nice and fluffy in the morning to make you happy," Naruto told her as he continued to rub her ears, making her purr. Naruto continued to fluff her fur for a little while longer until Tamamo saw the time and told Naruto to stop so that they can get dressed. When Naruto and Tamamo got dressed and left their tent to see Percy, Thalia, Grover, Artemis and her hunters were waiting for something. They got their answers when a large light blinded everyone. However, once the light died down, it revealed a car, then a man got out of the car to reveal a blonde tan man. "Wow, he's hot," Thalia said, making Percy groan in annoyance. "Yeah, well, he is the god of the sun," Percy told her, making her blush from embarrassment. "Hello little sis, what do you need me for?" Apollo asked Artemis, making her mad. "Don't call me little sis, I'm older than you, I helped mother birth you. Anyway, I wanted you to give my campers and the demigods a ride back to camp," Artemis told Apollo, angrily making the god flinch at her tone and quickly nod his head. "Sure sis, just let me change my ride to something that fit all of these people in it and we will be off," Apollo said. However, before he could do anything, a golden ripple appeared next to Apollo's car and the Vimana appeared. "Sorry, but my ride is better than yours," Naruto said as he and Tamamo got onto the Vimana, making it lift into the air and fly away to the shock of everyone. "Did that thing just fly?" Thalia asked in shock, making everyone but Percy and Grover nod their heads dumbly. "I want one," Apollo said as he walked over to his car and began to change it into a school bus to make room for everyone. But Naruto and Tamamo quickly returned back to camp with the demigods, giving them room to land the Vimana, with them being slack-jawed at the sight of the ancient vehicle. The demigods then saw Apollo's bus land next to the camp and saw everyone get off. "How did you get here before us? I thought that Apollo's chariot was one of the fastest things," Thalia asked, making Naruto smirk. "The Vimana travels at the speed of thought. It's not one of the fastest vehicle that I own, but it is the best one to show my status," Naruto told the girl as he continued to smirk at her, making her mad. "Oh yeah mister, I have everything. What is your fast vehicle then?" Thalia asked, making Naruto laugh at her. "A ship that travels at the speed of light," Naruto told her, shocking her into silence. Naruto then watched as all of the hunters moved into Artemis's cabin. After a few hours of enjoying themselves, Naruto and Tamamo heard that the campers will be facing against the hunters in Capture the Flag, catching Naruto's attention. Naruto and Tamamo then walked over to the campers to see them getting ready. "Boy mongrels, stop what you are doing," Naruto yelled, catching all of their attention, making them all look at Naruto and Tamamo. "Good, now then I'm going to face these hunters to show them the power of a demigod," Naruto told them, as Naruto and Tamamo summoned their armor and walked to the forest, ignoring the protests from the campers. Naruto and Tamamo were standing next to their flag ready to fight the hunters of Artemis. The two of them didn't need to wait long as they were soon attacked by some of the hunters. However, before they could shoot arrows at Naruto and Tamamo, they were quickly incapacitated by Naruto shooting wooden weapons from his Gate of Babylon, hitting the hunters in the forehead, knocking them out. Naruto and Tamamo continued on the defensive for a while and stopped multiple hunters from reaching the flag. Either Naruto used his Gate of Babylon to hit the hunters in the forehead or Tamamo using her talismans to paralyze them. It got to the point where the hunters were only down to a handful and were now on the defensive. Naruto then left Tamamo to defend the flag while he got the flag, and after a few minutes of walking, he reached the location of the hunter's flag. Naruto then used his Gate of Babylon to shoot wooden spears into the treetops, making multiple hunters falling out the trees. Naruto then quickly picked up the flag and started to leave. Meanwhile, with Tamamo, she was fighting with 𝐲, as Tamamo had knocked out 𝐲's team. "Surrender the flag, fox monsters," 𝐲 yelled as she tried to cut Tamamo with one of her knives. However, Tamamo dodged her attack. Tamamo then threw her talismans at 𝐲, and once they connected, they paralyzed her and was open for an attack. Naruto then returned with the flag, and the game was called to an end with Naruto and Tamamo being declared the winners, making some of the conscious hunters growl at finally losing. You campers need to learn that you don't always need to be on the offensive to win. The best defense is often the best place to be, as I forces your enemies to move to you, meaning you can push them in the direction that you like. The only time being on the defense doesn't work is when the enemy has superior firepower, Naruto said as he walked into the camp, making sure all of the campers were listening. Naruto and Tamamo then spent more time together. They even ignored when all of the campers surrounded 𝐲 and Percy when they were receiving a quest. They only paid attention when Percy came to visit Naruto and Tamamo. "Hey Naruto, can I ask you something?" Percy asked, catching Naruto's attention, making him look at Percy. "Sure, what is it that you need?" Naruto asked, trying to hide a smirk. "Do you know where Artemis is? And if so, can you tell me where she is?" Percy asked, making Naruto nod his head. "Of course, and know where she is, and I will tell you, however, for a price," Naruto told the boy, making him perk up in interest. "And what would it cost for you to tell me?" Percy asked suspiciously, making Naruto smile. "I will tell you at the cost of me and Tamamo joining you on your quest to save her," Naruto told the boy, making him look confused. "Why would you want to join this quest?" Percy asked Naruto, making Naruto smirk. "I want to be able to say that I saved her, that she, a goddess, needed the help of a demigod to save her," Naruto spoke with a smirk, making Percy faceap him. "Fine, the both of you can come," Percy said, making both Naruto and Tamamo smile. After Percy left the room, Naruto and Tamamo quickly got prepared and spent the rest of the day together, with Naruto brushing Tamamo's fur. The next morning, Naruto and Tamamo met the quest group at the entrance to the camp, making Zoe and Phoebe growl at him. "Why is he and the fox monster here for?" Zoe asked with a growl, however shut up when she felt Naruto's killing intent. "I'm here because I know where your goddess is and you don't, and Tamamo is coming with us because I said so, and if we're going to have a problem, fight me," Naruto told the hunter, making her shut up. Naruto then walks in front of them and used his Gate of Babylon to summon a helicopter. "And where is Lady Artemis?" Phoebe asked, making Naruto smirk at her, making her face turn red in rage. "She is currently holding up the sky for Atlas on Mount 𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐸𝐻. However, before we go and save her, we need to go to the Hoover Dam, as we need collect a 𝐫𝐞𝐪 that Artemis was hunting, or else you run the risk of the enemy getting their hands on it and using it for the fall of Olympus," Naruto told them, shocking them that he already knew Artemis's location. Naruto then summoned a van using his Gate of Babylon for everyone to use. Once everyone was ready, Naruto started to drive at full speed, making everyone but Zoe and Tamamo to pale at the speed Naruto was going at. "Hey Naruto, you might want to slow down," Percy yelled, however Naruto didn't answer him as he was busy driving. "Percy, we want to make sure that we get to the 𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 before any of the titans do, to prevent them from sacrificing the creature to make Olympus fall," Tamamo told Percy, making him gulp and close his mouth. "So why don't he use one of those ships that he is proud of owning?" Zoe asked with a sneer, however shut up when Naruto slammed his foot on the brake, making her face plant the seat in front of her, and then he continued driving. "Because he doesn't want you to defile his treasures with your touch," Tamamo told them, making their eyes twitch in annoyance. "So the reason why we're not flying there is because Naruto doesn't want us to touch his treasures." "That's just stupid," Percy said, making Tamamo nod her head. "That's right, and I know it's stupid, but Naruto is very proud of owning them, and you should be careful with what you say. I have heard rumor that Gilgamesh killed anyone who touched them," Tamamo told them, making them quickly shut up. After about 35 hours of driving on the road, Naruto and Tamamo and the group finally arrived at the Hoover Dam, with the majority of the group being hungry, so they raided the dam's snack bar for food. Once everyone finished eating, they looked into Lake Mead and found the 𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 swimming around. But no one knew what to do. Naruto walked over to Percy, confusing the boy, and when he was close enough he pushed Percy into the lake to surprise of everyone. However, when they looked into the lake they saw Percy talking the 𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. After a while, Percy managed to communicate to the beast that they were friendly and asked his father to look after the 𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. The group got back into the van and set off for San Francisco so that they can climb Mount 𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. After 5 hours of driving, Naruto spotted a limo trying to catch up to them, however Naruto just speed up as he could feel the divinity from the limo, and after 30 minutes of driving Naruto managed to give the limo the slip and started to drive towards Mount 𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. "Hey Naruto, why did you speed up for?" Percy asked, making Naruto groan in annoyance. "Because Percy, on the limo that was behind us was Ares and Aphrodite, and I'll rather not get involved with them right now, especially with the hunters here," Naruto told Percy, making the boy fall silent when he heard the hunters growl. After 4 more hours the group finally made it to the base of Mount 𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻 and start to drive up the mountain, however the van soon exploded due to a lightning bolt, making both Naruto and Thalia mad. However, they soon calmed down and started to walk up the mountain on foot. The group soon arrived at the Garden of the Hesperides and saw that the Hesperides were waiting for them. They soon began to call Zoe a range of names and curses. They soon summoned Layden to fight the group. However, before Layden could do anything it was pierced by multiple swords and spears, shocking everyone when they looked at the source to see Naruto with 10 golden ripples behind him. "So you're the dragon with 100 heads that even Heracles couldn't beat and is also meant to protect the bitch queen's apples. I'm not impressed so far. Now hurry up and fight back using your heads or poisons," Naruto said as he opened more gates. However, these were different as these contained magic staves that began to shoot at Layden, making it roar out in pain. Naruto and Layden continued to battle it out, with Naruto damaging Layden even more that the dragon soon collapsed to the floor, shocking everyone other than the one that knew Naruto. After the fight Naruto looked at the dragon in disinterest and boredom and then looked at the Hesperides who quickly ran away. Naruto, Tamamo and the group soon arrived at the location where Artemis was holding up the sky and saw that Atlas and Luke were waiting for them to arrive, making Naruto smirk. "What are you doing here?" Artemis asked the group, however 𝐫 answered. "We're here to save you, me lady," she told her leader as she walked to fight Atlas. However, Naruto pulled her back with a stern look. "I don't know what you're thinking trying to fight your father, however he is my fight as Layden was no fun, and I hope the Titan of Strength will give me a better fight," Naruto told the hunter as he walked forward with a smirk. "And you think that a lowly demigod like yourself can face me?" Atlas said arrogantly, making Naruto frown. "Be careful, Atlas, as that person in front of you is strong as he was able to beat Ares easily. Speaking of which, why don't you join us? I've seen how much you hate the god with your strength. We could beat them easily," Luke told the Titan and offered to Naruto, making everyone look at him waiting for his answer. "No thanks, I could easily go and storm Olympus anytime and kill them all, however that would be boring as there is no fun killing mongrels and peasants, and so I leave it in yours and Chrono's hands to do the task, that is if you can," Naruto said as he took a sword from his gate and ran towards Atlas and started to fight him. While Naruto was fighting Atlas, Thalia was fighting Luke to a draw. However, during the fight Luke revealed the location of Annabeth, making Percy run to that location and free her. Meanwhile, Tamamo, 𝐲 and Phoebe were trying to help Artemis to no avail. Soon Naruto walked over to them while keeping Atlas at bay with his Gate of Babylon and stood next to Artemis and to the shock of everyone present lifted the sky off Artemis with one hand. "Wow, this is actually pretty light compared to moving my treasury when Ishtar find it," Naruto said as he continued to hold the sky with one hand to the shock of everyone. Then Naruto opens 5 more portals that shot chains at Atlas that bound him tight and started to drag him towards Naruto. When he was close enough, Naruto dropped the sky onto Atlas, forcing him to hold it up again. "Damn you," Atlas roared out in rage as he shifted himself to get comfortable. Meanwhile, Luke was forced to retreat by Thalia. "Have fun holding your grandfather's penis," Naruto told the Titan, who looked fortified as Naruto, Tamamo, Artemis and the group left. "What do you mean, Naruto, when you told Atlas that he was hold his grandfather's penis?" Percy asked Naruto, who continued to laugh. "Atlas's burden is to hold the sky from the earth, representing Uranus and Gaia, and there is a saying that the sky still yearns to embrace the earth. You work out the rest," Naruto told Percy, making the pale and felt sorry for Atlas, with many feeling the same way. After Artemis healed a bit, she soon teleported everyone to the throne room on Olympus, shocking all of the gods in the room. However, Zeus looked furious. "How did you get here?" Zeus demanded to know. However, Artemis appeased him. "I brought them her father as they have just saved me," Artemis told her father, making him fall silent. "Then they have done Olympus a great service and should be rewarded," Zeus told them. However, Ares interrupted. "I say their reward should be their life being continued," Ares said, making Zeus nod his head. However, when he turned to see the demigod's reaction, he was surprised to see Naruto sitting in his golden throne with Tamamo on his lap. "And why should we reward someone that might be our enemy that could try to steal our weapons?" Zeus bellowed. However, Naruto didn't look impressed. "Really? Steal your weapons," Naruto said as he opened 3 gate and out came 3 items that were familiar to all of those in the room. "Why I steal something that I already possess? Then again, these are only the prototypes, such as Hades' helm being a hat that grants total invisibility, and you can tell the rest," Naruto told all those in the room, shocking them. "And how did you get your hands on those?" Poseidon asked, making Naruto's eye twitch in annoyance. "You think you were the first gods to come up with the idea to make a lightning bolt, a trident and helm with the qualities that you wanted? Don't make me laugh," Naruto told them, making them fall into silence. "I want to know who that fox woman is," Demeter asked Naruto and Tamamo, making them smirk. "This is Tamamo no Mae, who is the daughter of Amaterasu," Naruto told them, making all of the gods in the room pale. "That impossible, the Shinto gods faded a long time ago," Zeus roared in rage. However, Naruto continued to smirk. "No, they didn't, they just moved from this dimension to another one," Naruto lied coolly, trying not to reveal that they are from a different dimension. "And how do you know this?" Apollo asked, intrigued in how Naruto has all this information. "And how did you know where I was?" Artemis asked her question as well, making Naruto annoyed. "I possess everything in this world from weapons to knowledge, and I knew where Artemis was because I used my clairvoyance to find her. I'm starting to get fed up with all of these questions, so me and Tamamo are leaving," Naruto told them as he and Tamamo faded into golden dust, leaving the throne room quiet. Naruto was currently relaxing on the couch with Amaterasu, watching TV together. This was due to the two of them using their magical energy to keep the Greek gods from their house, as Zeus has ordered the gods on Olympus to try and invade Naruto's house to find out what secrets that he was keeping, as well as to find out. When Naruto spotted one of these gods, he beat them up and teleported the body back to Olympus with a note. "Dear mongrels, I am writing this letter to you because I find your attempts at entering my house amusing and wish to convey to you that you should continue to send gods to my house, as I am taking great amusement in your failure. I also wish to convey to you how idiotic your plans are." My brother Gilgamesh was able to separate humanity from the Babylonian gods. I'm pretty sure that I can separate my house from a bunch of whining man babies. Their pleasure. Naruto. After Naruto wrote that letter, the number of gods trying to get into the house dropped. However, instead a goddess tried to get into the house, and to the surprise of the Greek gods, she was allowed into the house. When they saw that, they quickly teleported to the house. However, they were all rejected and heard Naruto's mocking laughter. The goddess that was allowed into the house was 𝐻𝐻, as Naruto was told by Ray to let her into the house, as she wasn't like the others in her family and was usually the one that tried to calm everyone down. When 𝐻𝐻 entered the house, she was shocked by the amount of people living in the house. She was also surprised to find Amaterasu and Ninsen in the house with Ray. She couldn't find Tiamat due to Naruto hiding her in his vault due to not wanting to give away their secrets. When Ray saw 𝐻𝐻, she hugged and cried into her shoulder, shocking 𝐻𝐻, leading the group to explain what has been happening. When 𝐻𝐻 heard the story, she was in shock that she and her brother and sisters made their mother feel unloved and spent the rest of the day with Ray comforting her, and once she was finished, Naruto and the rest of the girls dragged 𝐻𝐻 to another room. To her confusion, when they were in the room, they explained to 𝐻𝐻 that she needs to try and control her family better, as they are becoming a massive problem for humanity, as they rape and steal anything that they want from humanity. When 𝐻𝐻 heard all that she was told, she was in shock that her family could fall so low and promised to do her best to talk to them. After the chat, she quickly left back for Olympus, leaving the family alone in the house to their relief, and released Tiamat from the vault. It had taken Naruto 30 minutes of hugging to make it up to Tiamat for locking her away. This was the reason why Naruto was enjoying his time watching TV with Amaterasu. However, their relaxation was soon interrupted by Ray, as she asked Naruto a question. "Hey Naruto, did you know that the labyrinth has moved under Camp Half-Blood?" Ray asked Naruto as he turned to face her. "Of course I know that the labyrinth moved under the camp, as Chronos plans to use it to move monsters into the camp. However, I believe that the campers can handle the problem," Naruto told her, making her nod her head. "So what have you been doing recently?" Ray asked Naruto, making him smile at her, making her blush. "I've been having fun watching those at the camp and spending time with the girls and going out on dates. So far the camp has been entertaining, as they have figured out that labyrinth is under the camp. They also don't know that they have a spy in the camp that is feeding information to Luke," Naruto told her, making her get slightly jealous of him mentioning that he has been going on dates with the other women. "I need to tell him my feelings. It is the only way to get rid of these feelings of jealousy towards them. Besides, the other girls told me that Naruto knows how I feel. However, he is waiting for me to told him," Ray thought to herself to build up the courage to talk to him. She then faced Naruto, who was looking at her with a smile still. "Naruto, I was wondering if you would like to go on a date with me?" Ray asked nervously. When everyone heard what they said, they all smiled at her. "Sure, I've been saving a place to go. We can go tomorrow, as we should get prepared for it," Naruto told her as he continued to smile at her, making her face turn a dark red. However, she smiled brightly. "Okay," Ray said, and walked to the other girls that were smiling at her. Once she got to them, they congratulated her for telling Naruto how she felt, making Ray feel at ease. The next day, Naruto was already dressed in a normal gray suit and tie and was waiting for Ray to come down the stairs, as she was in her room with the other girls who were helping her get dressed and putting on makeup. Once she came down the stairs, she was wearing a cream-colored dress that covered her assets modestly. She also wore makeup that elevated her natural beauty. When she saw Naruto, she blushed at the sight of him in his suit. "You look amazing, Ray. Cream really is a good color for you," Naruto told her, making her smile and walk over to Naruto and hug his arm. "And you look stunning with the suit that you have on," Ray told him with a light blush, making Naruto laugh. "Well, I was going to wear something gold with a lot of jewelry. However, my mother told me that it would be a bad idea," Naruto told her, making her laugh as well. "Yes, it would be a bad idea, as we wouldn't want to be the center of attention during our date," Ray told him. However, he smiled at her. "I think that would be pretty difficult when you are there next to me. I doubt that any man could keep his eyes off you," Naruto told her, making her blush deeper. However, to keep composure, she slapped his arm gently. "Like you want to talk, all of the women are going to have their eyes on you like a predator to prey," Ray told him, making him laugh. "Then it looks like we're going to have to protect the other from the opposite sex," Naruto told her, making her laugh and smile as she gave a nod of her head. The two of them then went on their date, as Naruto booked a table at an expensive restaurant for the two of them. When they got out of the car that Naruto took from the vault, everyone's attention was on the two, as all of the women couldn't help but blush at the sight of Naruto, and the same could be said about Ray, as she attracted all of the males' attention. When the two of them entered, the same happened in the restaurant, with men and women staring at the couple. However, they quickly looked away when Naruto placed his hand around Ray's waist, making her blush. However, all of the people in the restaurant understood their relationship. Naruto and Ray was then led to their seats by the waitress, and the two sat down at a table with candlelight and wine waiting from them at the table. The down of them sat down and looked at the menu and ordered their food and got to talking to each other. "So how did you get so many girls to fall for you?" Ray asked Naruto a question that she always wanted to know. Well, that has a funny answer. You see, both myself and my brother had problems talking to people as well as women, so we both went to a therapist, and with her help, we were able to talk to girls. However, this led to another problem, as the therapist said that I have the harem protagonist rank X skill. The therapist's name was 𝐸𝐶𝐸, Naruto told with a sigh, making her laugh. I then went on to talk to 𝐸𝐴 and asked her out. However, that was the start, as I then helped Artoria, Tamamo, Mordred and Amaterasu with their problems, and thus their feelings for me started to bloom, and thus began my love life, Naruto told her as she smiled at him. And I'm sure that they are happy and grateful for the help that you have given them, Ray told him, making him smile at her. And for that I am happy. I've always dreamt to help people when I was younger, but I never could due to being in a hospital bed all the time due to the Namikaze family. What about you and your children, how are you feeling now? Naruto told her, then asked her a question, making her smile turn into a small frown. I used to love my children with everything that I am. I even went as far as to keep my later pregnancy secret just so that I could spend a few more moments with them before they were taken from me. When the trigonomaly was over, I was ecstatic. My dreaded ex-husband was cut up into pieces and could no longer harm my children. However, after the war my children were so paranoid and afraid, they banned any Titian from standing on Olympus. Ray told him with a sad frown as she thought about the past. I think I already know the rest of the story. So what do you feel about Chronos coming back to fight Olympus? Naruto asked Ray, making her look conflicted. I feel conflicted, as before I got pregnant Chronos was a wonderful husband and was always loyal to me. However, he changed when I told him I was pregnant with Hestia. I blame Uranus for what happened, as his jealousy made Chronos paranoid. However, I can never forgive him for eating our children, and that is why he hasn't contacted me, as he already knows that, Ray told Naruto, making him nod his head in understanding. At least he was loyal. It is a shame that it cannot be said for his sons, as they would have sons and daughters with anything that moves, Naruto told her, making her laugh and nod her head. The two then received their food, with the two of them eating in comfortable silence. After they finished eating the food, they ordered dessert, and the two of them continued to talk with each other about their pasts and telling jokes with each other. After the two of them finished eating their desserts, Naruto paid the bill, and the two of them walked out and went back home. So how did you enjoy the date? Naruto asked Ray as they walked to the door, making her smile. I loved the date and I would enjoy going out on another with you, Ray told Naruto, making him smile as they walked into the house and saw that the other women were waiting for them to come back home. So how was the date? Amaterasu asked, making Naruto smile and Ray to blush. We both enjoyed it and would like to go on another, Naruto told them, making them smile and crowed around Ray and lead her upstairs to talk to her about the date, leaving Naruto alone. The next day everyone was in the kitchen and was eating breakfast and talking and laughing with each other, with Mordred laughing the loudest. When everyone stopped eating and was sitting around, Tamamo gave those in the room an update on the status around the camp. I've asked some of the foxes to check up on the camp, and they have told me that the campers are doing a good job protecting the camp from the monsters from the labyrinth. Percy, Annabeth and Grover has entered the labyrinth to find the one that keeps it open, Tamamo told the group, making them nod their heads at the information. I knew that they would be fine, with so many of them they could equal 3 competent demigods, so they should be fine, Naruto told them, making them laugh at his joke. However, Ray looked concerned. What about their parents? What are they doing about the situation? Ray asked Naruto, making him frown. They don't seem to care about them, as they are busy doing other things while on Olympus. The only ones that have helped on the quest are Hera, but that was only because she was being petty, Naruto told Ray, making sigh in disappointment. Don't worry Ray, the prophecy will soon take place, as Percy will soon turn 16, and once the fight the Titans and the gods have for Olympus. We then can set our plan into motion to humble the gods. Artoria told her as she stroked her back, comforting Ray. The group then went and spent the day together, making each other laugh or watch TV with each other, with Ninsen and Ray taking interest in the soaps that were playing, annoying Naruto as he wanted to watch his stuff, but he was kicked off the couch and was forced to summon his own TV as all the others were being used. After 3 days of enjoying themselves, everyone was surprised when Naruto teleported himself away from the house, leaving the girls alone to think about what happened to make Naruto leave them so suddenly. When Naruto teleported himself to the camp, he saw that Annabeth and Grover have returned to the camp without Percy. However, Camp was following behind them and managed to escape the labyrinth, forcing the campers of the defensive against the camp and the monsters that followed it. When Naruto saw it, he barraged all of the monsters with swords of the Gate of Babylon, surprising all of the campers as they looked at Naruto. I see you managed to escape from the labyrinth. However, Percy has caused a bigger problem, as he has forced St. Helens to erupt, that has woken Tiffin from his sleep. I bet the gods aren't happy with that one, Naruto said aloud, making Annabeth sigh in relief, however frowned at the mention of the gods. Where is Percy right now? Annabeth asked with hope that her friend is safe. 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐴 right now speaking to Calypso. Naruto told Annabeth, making her happy that Percy was still alive. However, they were interrupted when they heard a loud hiss and turned to see 𝐾𝐴MP was getting back up. However, before she could, she was pierced by multiple spears through the chest, making her fade into golden dust, making the campers cheer. You need to go back into the labyrinth and find the one who opened it, and once you do, you need to kill them to make sure the labyrinth is closed, Naruto told Annabeth, making her gulp and nod her head, making Naruto smile and teleport away. Once Naruto returned home, he saw that everyone was waiting for him to return so that he could explain himself to them, making him release a tired sigh. There was a problem at camp as one of the more dangerous monsters managed to get out from it and attack the camp. If I wasn't there, then there was a large chance that the camp and the demigods would have been finished. Naruto explained to them, making them smile and nod their heads as they heard the report from one of Tamamo's foxes. It was nice of you to do that for them, Naruto 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 said to him with a smile, making him blush slightly in embarrassment, making the girls giggle at his attitude. Don't be like that, Naruto, we are proud of you for helping them when they were in trouble, 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 said to him, making him grumble. I only saved them because they were useful to our plan for the future, as I didn't want the Titans winning and preventing me from humbling the gods, Naruto told them. However, all of the girls could clearly see that he was lying, making them laugh at him, making his eye twitch. Of course you did, Naruto, why else would you have done it, Mordred told him as she walked over to him and kissed him on the lips, making the other girls jealous and run over to hug or kiss him, making Ninsen and Tiamat laugh at them. After a few more days of the group relaxing, they had received reports from Tamamo's foxes that Percy had returned to camp and that the quest was over, with another one of the demigods joining Chrono's army, making Naruto and 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 to groan at Zu's lack of leadership. The plan is still a go. We make sure that we scare them, and then we fight them to make sure that they are humbled, so that they never make the same mistakes again, as well as look after those that they are sworn to protect, Naruto told them, making everyone nod as they had been over the plan multiple times to make sure that they understood what they were doing. Naruto was currently relaxing in the bath after going on another date with Ray. So far, the relationship has steadily progressed to the point where she was comfortable sleeping next to Naruto after their dates, making him happy that she was comfortable. However, while he was relaxing, he felt a massive pulse of divinity across the whole of New York, making Naruto groan and quickly dry himself and get dressed and got back downstairs to see the other women waiting for him. So the Titans and their army have begun their attack, 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 said, making everyone groan and nod their heads. What are we going to do? She asked the people around her, making everyone look at Naruto, making him sigh. We aren't going to do anything. This is the Greek gods and demigods problem, and they need to sort things out, otherwise they will become reliant on us, and the gods will believe that I serve them and their whims. Naruto told them, making them nod their heads. However, we will protect our house in case Chrono sends some of his army to attack us, Naruto told them, making everyone in the room gear up ready to fight. But the Greek gods are busy fighting Tiffin and won't be able to help the demigods, Mordred told Naruto, as if to remind him of the fact, making him nod his head. And for good reason, I'm not about to help them when they are experiencing doing real work after 2.5 millennia of not doing anything. It will also expose their true colors to the demigods that are fighting for them. Naruto told them, making them laugh at the insult. However, Ray frowned. Don't worry, Ray, I'm sure they will be fine, even though Hades and Poseidon aren't helping them as they are busy with their own domains, as Hades is busy trying to keep the bulk of the monsters in the underworld, while Poseidon is busy defending his kingdom from attack, meaning that Zeus is the only one powerful enough to do any real damage to Tiffin. Naruto told her reassuringly, making her smile and nod her head. Naruto then summoned a magical mirror that showed them the progress of the war, with everyone paying attention to the fights that was happening, as well as the plans that each side had. Naruto was a little disappointed with Chronos when he didn't use any tactical strategies other than to spit his force to attack the demigods from multiple sides. Naruto believed this was due to Chronos and the Titans' arrogance that they thought of this plan. Naruto and the girls watched as Hypnos put all of the mortals in the city asleep with his divinity, making it easier for the demigods and Titans to move around the city without causing mass panic that could cause more destruction. Everyone watched as the hunters and campers were building defensives and making fortifications around the Empire State Building to protect it from the monsters and the Titans. Naruto and the girls watched as the campers were killing the monsters easily, however they were having problems holding the Titans back. Everyone then watched as Percy came back to the campers and told them that he had leveled his playing field to fight Chronos. They then watched as Promethean came and gave Percy Pandora's Pythos so that the campers may surrender. They then watched as Percy ordered the campers and hunters around to protect the elevator to Olympus. However, they were interrupted when a dragon appeared and started to attack the campers and the hunters. However, it was interrupted when a camper went to attack it but was hit. Naruto and the girls watched as the campers surrounded the camper that was hit by the dragon. The campers came running to help them, however it revealed that the camper to be 𝐫𝐸𝐵, where with her dying breath told everyone that she was the spy that told Luke about the camp and campers, shocking everyone. They tried to save her, however she soon passed away with a smile on her face, saying that she could see her boyfriend. Once she passed, Clarice went into a rage and attacked the Draken, and in her rage, she killed the Draken. Naruto and his group then watched as Percy fought Hyperion and beat the Titan, much to Naruto's and the others in the room in amusement at the fact that the Titan thought that he invisible. They then watched Percy quickly go to Olympus to give Pandora's Pythos to 𝐻𝐸𝐴 due to the enchantment on it to make him feel like open it. Naruto then changed a view of the mirror to show the gods fighting Tiffin, and once they saw the fight, Naruto and Mordred started laughing as they watched the gods getting manhandled by Tiffin, who kept throwing them around and wasn't getting any damage. The other girls in the room cringed in pain as they watched the gods getting knocked around. Naruto then changed a view of the mirror back to the campers and the hunters to see the Chronos was slowly pushing the campers and hunters back with the monsters and titans that were under his control. However, those in the room could see the Chronos was getting mad that he wasn't make the progress that he wanted. Naruto and everyone then watched as Percy, the campers and hunters held their defenses as more and more monsters attacked them. However, they were saved by 𝐤𝐸𝐴, arriving with more centaurs that attacked the monsters, killing most of them, making it easier for the campers and hunters to defend Olympus. Naruto and the girls were pleased as they watched all of the allies of the gods start to get their footing in fighting the monsters and the titans. However, a problem arrived when Chronos got feet up and destroyed the magical defensive around Olympus, allowing him to teleport to Olympus to destroy the gods' thrones. Naruto and everyone in the room then watched as Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Thalia entered the elevator with Annabeth to Olympus. However, Percy got to see Hades, Demeter and Persephone entered the fight, killing the rest of the monsters, and then Hades started to fight the remaining titans. Everyone then watched as Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Thalia arrived in Olympus to see that the buildings around Olympus looked like they were going to collapse and everything else was slowly being destroyed. They watched as Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Thalia ran towards the god's throne to stop Chronos from destroying the god's throne. However, as they were running, Naruto and the girls watched as a statue fell onto Thalia, preventing her from moving. When Naruto saw this, he growled in annoyance as he felt Hera divinity being used to make the statue collapse and made a promise to make Hera pay for her pettiness in such a situation where Percy needs all of the help he could get. Naruto and the girls watched as Percy and Annabeth confront the Luke who was being controlled by Chronos, stopping him from destroying the thrones of the gods. When they confronted the possessed Luke, Annabeth yelled out the promise that they made when they were younger, making Luke snap out of the possession and use the knife that he was given by Percy to hit his Achilles spot on his back, killing both Luke and Chronos. When everyone saw the end of Chronos, they stopped watching the events and talk amongst themselves about what they saw, with most of the people in the room being disappointed in the gods and their lack of care for what had happened. I cannot believe that Hera would be so stupid and petty as to make her statue fall on Thalia to prevent her from helping just because Percy and Annabeth said that Hera preferred to prefect families, Amaterasu said, surprising those that cannot feel divinity as they thought the statue fell on its own. Don't worry, we will teach her a lesson soon, as that type of attitude while you are under attack shouldn't be encouraged, Artorias said, making those in the room nod their heads. So when are we going to attack Olympus? Mordred asked, making everyone look at Naruto, who looked like he was in thought. As soon as the reward ceremony is done, this way the demigods are rewarded for their hard work, Naruto told them, making them look happy at what they were told. After an hour of waiting and preparing their things, Naruto and his group set off to the base of Olympus, and when they were there, demigods, hunters and centaurs were shocked to see Naruto and his group were here, and were further shocked when they felt some of the divinity from some of the members. Alright Tiamat, the operation is a go. You may start your transformation, and remember, we won't think any less of you, Naruto told Tiamat, making her nod her head and start her transformation into her dragon form, beast form from fate, shocking all of the demigods, hunters and centaurs at the change of Olympus. They then watched as Naruto and his group climbed onto Tiamat's back, and then the large beast started to climb the Empire State Building. The demigods, hunters and centaurs tried to stop them, however nothing they did could stop Tiamat from climbing to the top. Once at the top of the Empire State Building, Naruto used some of his magic power to rip the mist away to reveal Mount Olympus to everyone. Once Mount Olympus was visible, Tiamat started climbing the mountain, making the mountain shake as she climbed. But the gods were talking to each other and holding a celebration for successfully stopping the Titan invasion, as well as stopping Tiffin. Those that were instrumental in Olympus's victory were also there partying with the gods, however they soon felt Mount Olympus shake, confusing everyone at the party. Some of the gods went to investigate and saw Tiamat was climbing Mount Olympus with Naruto and a group of girls on her back. When the gods reported what was happening to those at the party, they were shocked, however they quickly went into action with the gods going to the edge to try and blast Tiamat of Olympus. The response that the gods got for their attack was a loud melody that sent shockwaves across the mountain, resulting in the gods and demigods covering their ears at the loud, so making some of the demigods and gods pause and fight at the large beast. The gods did everything that they could to stop Tiamat's advance, however nothing was working as she could just shrug all of the attacks off while still climbing, making more of the gods afraid. It got to the point where Zeus threw his master bolt at Tiamat, however, once the dust cleared, it revealed Tiamat to be perfectly fine and still climbing, making the gods even more afraid. The gods and demigods didn't need to wait long until Tiamat climbed all of Mount Olympus. Once they saw her, most of the gods and demigods were paralyzed in fear, but soon got out of that fear and got ready to attack, however were stopped when they saw Naruto and his group get off Tiamat. Stop music. Gods and goddess of Olympus, we have been watching your actions towards your children, as well as the events that they have participated in, and we have found you wanting. You are all egomaniacs that need to be humbled, and in order for that to happen, you need to fight an opponent that you cannot beat, Naruto told everyone, stunning them by his words. However they soon got mad at his accusing them. And you think you and a bunch of women can beat us? Don't make me laugh, Ares said with a laugh, however soon shut up when he felt the power that was being unleashed by the girls. I wouldn't underestimate them if I was you. After all, these are some of the most powerful women in history, however I will leave it up to them to introduce themselves, Naruto told Ares, making him fume. However everyone looked at the girls. I am Artoria Pendragon, the once and future king of England, leader of Excalibur and Rongaminiad. Artoria introduced herself, shocking and confusing the gods and the demigods that knew her. I am Mordred Pendragon, daughter of Artoria Pendragon, and the Knight of Rebellion. Mordred introduced herself, surprising them as she was working with Artoria. I am Tamamo no Mae, the nine-tailed fox and supposed terror to Japan, and daughter to Amaterasu. Tamamo introduced herself, making some of the demigods pale at the lineup so far. I am Amaterasu, goddess of the sun and universe, Amaterasu said, making all of the gods pale at her, as they knew how powerful she was. I am 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴, goddess to the underworld. 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 introduced themselves, making everyone afraid due to her domain being the same as Hades. I am Ninsun, goddess of fertility and mother to Naruto, and Gilgamesh. Ninsun introduced herself, making all of the demigods look at her in surprise. And we have Tiamat, primordial of the sea and mother to the Sumerian gods. Naruto introduced Tiamat as he stepped aside, making all of the demigods shake in fear at the fact the woman was a primordial, however looked confused why Naruto stepped aside and were shocked to see the person behind him. I am Ray, titan of female fertility, motherhood, and generations and mother to the gods. Ray introduced herself to everyone, surprising the demigods at the mother of the gods, however the gods looked upset and afraid. You dare turn our own mother against us, Zeus bellowed to Naruto, acting as a voice for the gods. However Naruto didn't look afraid. You idiots did that yourselves in your paranoia against anyone that would come and claim the throne. You banned every titan from Olympus, that ban included Ray, due to her being a titan. You idiots never even visited her after you won the war. You were either too busy having more children or just didn't care anymore. I told you the first time that I came to Olympus that I had your mother crying at my house, but none of you other than 𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 seemed to care enough to find our location to speak with her, Naruto told him, making Zeus shut up and the other gods look away in shame for their action. We are here to correct your mistakes and arrogance. For example, Queen Bitch over there used her divinity to make her statue full of Thalia, stopping her from helping Percy and Annabeth defeat Luke. If it wasn't for the fact that Luke was able to get control of his body again and kill himself, you would have lost, Naruto told all of the demigods and gods, making them all look at her in surprise, making her growl. And the only reason why she did so was because Annabeth and Percy pointed out to her that she prefers perfect families, Naruto told them, making Thalia look annoyed. However both Percy and Annabeth looked angry. Naruto then snapped his fingers, making the girls behind him move to their opponents. Artoria was facing a confident Artemis, Amaterasu was facing a scared Apollo, Mordred was facing an excited Ares, and Naruto walked over to Zeus with a smirk. The other gods were going to try to help, however they were stopped by Tiamat, making them pale. Naruto walked up to Zeus with a smirk, angering the god who went to strike him, however Naruto dodged out of the way and then punched Zeus in the chest. That sent Zeus through multiple walls, to the surprise of everyone. However, before they could react, Artoria, Mordred and Amaterasu used their abilities to send the gods flying. Naruto and the girls followed after their targets, making the other gods in the room try and help, however they were blocked by Tiamat again, making all look towards Tiamat and look ready to fight. However their spurts were crushed when she realized another loud melody. With Naruto was walking towards the downed Zeus slowly but confidently, and watch was Zeus got up from the floor with lightning arsing from his body to show how mad he was in the current situation, making Naruto smirk. Naruto then opened his gate and took out a knuckle duster and continued to walk towards Zeus. However he had to quickly dodge another arc of lightning that was sent at him by Zeus. However Naruto continued to walk towards Zeus but had to keep dodging arcs of lightning. Once Naruto was in front of Zeus, Naruto punched him again, making Zeus cough out blood. Naruto then kneed Zeus in the face, breaking Zeus's nose, making Zeus' golden blood fall from his nose. Zeus then sent a punch towards Naruto that he blocked with his arm and the counters with another punch to the chest. This slugfest continued for a while, with Naruto punching Zeus with his knuckle duster, while Zeus was able to hit Naruto with his lightning a few times and even landed a few punches. However, the punches landed on Naruto did little damage to him. The fight continued until Naruto punched Zeus in the face and dazed him, allowing Naruto to get behind him and choke him out, making Zeus fall to the ground unconscious. Naruto smirked and took a phone from his vault and took a selfie with Zeus's battered and bleeding form, making Naruto laugh and walk away from the downed Zeus and back to where Tiamat is. With Artoria. Artoria was not having fun as Artemis kept pelting her with arrows from her bow, but none of the arrows could pierce Artoria's armor. However, Artoria was having her own problems, as Artemis keeps retreating every time Artoria get close to her. Artoria had enough of Artemis running away and sent mana into her legs to reinforce them. She then sprinted towards Artemis, resulting in a shockwave from Artoria breaking the sound barrier, surprising Artemis, who had to quickly dodge a sword swing, but was hit by an armored punch to the face, instead making her nose bleed. Artemis growled at the fact that she was punched as was now bleeding, so she took out her hunting knives and went on the offensive. However, Artoria either blocked or dodged her attacks, making Artemis even more angry. However, before she could do anything, Artoria cut her arm, making her flinch in pain, which let Artoria land a powerful kick that knocked the air from Artemis's lungs, making her collapse to the ground to catch her breath. Artoria then walked towards Artemis and then punched her on the back of her head, forcing her face into the ground and knocking her out. Once she was finished, she started to walk back to the others, dragging Artemis behind her. With Mordred. Mordred was having the time of her life fighting against Ares, as all Ares would do was swing his sword with no technique and only use his strength, making it easy for Mordred to parry his swings, allowing her to punch his ribs. Mordred was also having fun using her sword to slash at Ares, making him growl and use more strength. However, his sword swings were still being blocked by Mordred as she smirked at him and punched him in the face, making him drop his sword. Mordred also dropped her sword and got into a hand-to-hand stance and punched Ares in the face when he went to swing at her. Mordred continued to batter Ares with her fists, making Ares madder and madder, making him stronger. However, he couldn't land a hit on Mordred, making her laugh. Mordred saw that Ares was getting stronger, so he started to target his ribs or face. After a while of fighting, Ares was getting tired due to the amount of damage that he was building up due to Mordred's attacks. Mordred spotted that Ares was getting tired and slugged him in the face, making him collapse to the ground, allowing Mordred to get on top of him and punch his face into the ground, knocking him out. Mordred then started dragging him with her as she walked towards where the other were so that she could wait for the others. But Amaterasu was bored with the fight she was having with Apollo due to the fact that Apollo kept trying to use his authority over the sun to power up or attack her. However, she kept using her own authority over the sun to stop his attempts. After a while of waiting Apollo to change his attack, he finally did and started to shoot arrows at her that were covered with a plague to try and stop Amaterasu. However, she simply drawn her katana Kusanagi no Tsurugi to block all of the arrows or use a fire blast to melt the arrows. Amaterasu then waited a while, dodging or blocking each of Apollo's attack in an effort to tire him out, and it was starting to work as Apollo's attacks were slowing down and were less intense, allowing Amaterasu to make her way towards a tired Apollo and hit him on the back of the neck with the back of her katana. Amaterasu then used her magic to drag the unconscious Apollo behind her as she made her way back to where the others were. As she was walking, she released a bored sigh. Once she arrived, she saw Naruto and the other girls waiting for them with the unconscious gods next to them. She then looked at the Greek gods to see that they were afraid as they are looking at the down forms of their strongest gods. And now we have defeated Zeus, Artemis, Apollo and Ares. This should go to show you that none of you are as strong as you think you are. The victories that you have had were prophesied to happen by the fates, making it easier for you to win as it was meant to happen. None of you know the meaning to struggle to achieve victory, Naruto told all of the gods present, making them look nervous. Now then, for our demands, unless you want Zeus to come back and fight the rest of you, is simple. I want you all to keep it in your pants. It is okay to have a child, however you cannot have your own cabin full of them. Next you are to claim all of your kids and then spend time with them to show them that you love and support them, and my final demand is that you help your children when they are on quest and don't treat them like they are doing chores for you. If you can follow these demands, then I won't invade Olympus and will leave you to do your own thing, Naruto told all of the gods, making them quickly nod their heads in fear. Now then, for the rest of your punishment, Naruto said as he walked towards Ray, making her nod her head and walk towards her children, making them gulp. Ray then proceeded to bash each and every one of them on the top of the head, making them collapse to the floor. She then walked over to a whimpering Hera and put her over her knee and started to spank her, making her cry. Everyone looked away from the awkward sight. "This is what you get for being petty," Ray said to Hera, making her cry louder. Ray then stopped smacking Hera and walked over to Naruto and kissed him on the lips to the surprise of all the gods and demigods. However, Naruto smirked at them. "That's right, I'm your new daddy," Naruto said with a laugh as he teleported himself and the girls away from Olympus, making all of the gods faint from the shock of the news. Naruto and the others soon arrived at their home and they all walked to their bedroom as they were tired due to the boring fights. When they woke up the next day, everyone met in the kitchen to eat the breakfast that Tiamat cooked for them. At the table they discussed what they were going to do now that they have sorted the problem that they had for the Greek gods. They also discussed the fights that they had with the gods that they face, with most of them being disappointed. However, Mordred was happy with her fight. Naruto said that they were all going to go back home with them, all nodding their heads as they have had their fun, so there was no point in staying any longer. They also made an enemy of the Greek gods, and despite them being weak, they were annoying. Naruto then spent a week going around New York to spend time with his girlfriends, taking each to a different location to enjoy themselves, as well as to relax after having to fight the gods of Olympus. During the week, Naruto sent secret message to the gods. For example, he sent a letter to Aphrodite to say that she was free to love Hephaestus all she wanted, as Ares wasn't going to threaten her, and that he wished her, Hephaestus and her brainchildren, a pleasant eternity. He sent a letter to Hephaestus to explain the situation about Aphrodite and how she was forced into being in a relationship with Ares and that she was still a virgin due to her making brainchildren as she was waiting for him to claim her. He then wished him a pleasant eternity. He sent a letter to Hermes to give him some pranking ideas that he can do to his family so that he can have fun during his time off. There was also tickets to a music performance that one of his children was going to be in. He sent a letter to Demeter to explain the situation with Hades and Persephone and how they love each other despite how their relationship started. He also said that she should sit the couple down to hear their side of the story. He sent Hades a letter. Naruto told Hades that he was a good man despite all of the rumor and myths about him and that he was an amazing father and husband. However, he needed to socialize more. In Poseidon's letter, Naruto wished Poseidon a good eternity. However, he needed to learn to stay faithful to his wife and remember that he was the one that wanted her and not the other way around. He then explained to him if that wasn't possible, then to talk to her about an open relationship so that way she doesn't feel unloved. In Athena's letter, Naruto gave her a book about every pantheon and their myths so that she can study them and add to her own wisdom. He also told her to calm down the ego and open her mind, that way she can experience the world in a different way to expand her knowledge. After Naruto sent all of the letter, he got thank you letters back from them, making him smile. However, Naruto and his girlfriends, Mother and Tiamat, knew that it was time to leave and thus called 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐺 to come pick them up. Once 𝐤𝐻 arrived, Naruto and his girlfriends, Mother and Tiamat, were already packed and ready to leave, with Naruto and his girlfriends, Mother and Tiamat, waving goodbye to the gods that came to see them off with a tearful Ray, hugging her children goodbye as she left with Naruto. I hope you guys liked the story. If you did, click on any of the videos which are popping on the screen right now. I promise you'll love them too. If you like my videos, you can like and subscribe too. I'll see you on another amazing What If video, guys. Love you all, peace.